Hi, Bluebirds. Right, they're in the vet, if you remember. The vets. He's still scaring half the animals in here to death. Can't you cover him up or something? Ellie was going to keep arguing, I could tell, but without even looking up from his warm pamphlet, his father just dropped the raincoat over the cage as if I was some manky old parrot or something, and everything went black. No wonder by the time the vet came at me with a nasty needle I was in a bit of a mood. I didn't mean to scratch her that badly though, or smash those little green bottles, or tip the expensive new cat scales off the bench, or spill all that cleaning fluid. It wasn't me who ripped my second card into tiny pieces though, that was the vet. When we left, Ellie was in tears again. She'd hugged my cage tightly to her chest. Oh, Tuffy, until we find a new vet who promised to look after you, you must be so careful not to get run over. Fat chance, her father muttered. I was just glowering at him through the cage when he spotted Ellie's mother, standing knee-deep in shopping bags outside the supermarket. You're very late, she scolded. Was there a bit of trouble at the vet's? Ellie burst into tears. I mean, talk about a wimp. But her father is made of sterner stuff. He'd just taken the most huge breath, ready to snitch on me, when suddenly he let it out again. Out of the corner of his eye, he'd spotted trouble of another sort. Quick, he whispered. Next door's just coming through the checkout. He picked up half the shopping bags. Eddie's mother picked up the rest. Before they could get away, next door had come through the glass doors. So now all four of them were forced to chat. Morning, said Ellie's father. Morning, said next door. Nice day, said Ellie's father. Lovely, agreed next door. Nicer than yesterday, said Ellie's mother. Oh yes, next door said. Yesterday was horrible. She probably just meant the weather, for heaven's sake, but Ellie's eyes filled with tears. I don't know why she was so fond of Thumper. I'm the one who's supposed to be her pet, not him. And because she couldn't see where she was going properly anymore, she bumped into her mother, and half the tins of cat food fell out on from one of the shopping bags and rolled down the street. Ellie dumped my cat down my cage and chased off after them. Then she made the mistake of reading the labels. Oh no, she wailed. Rabbit chunks. Really, that child is such a drip. She'd never make it in our gang. She wouldn't last a week. Talking about rabbits, said next door's, the most extraordinary things happened at our house. Really? Said Ellie's father, glaring at me. Oh yes, said Ellie's mother, glaring at me as well. Yes, said next door. On Monday, poor Thumper looked a bit poorly, so we brought him inside. And on Tuesday, he looked worse. And on Wednesday, unfortunately, he died. He was terribly old, though, and he'd had a very happy life, so we didn't feel too bad about it. In fact, we had a little funeral and buried him in a box at the bottom of the garden. I stared up at the clouds now, and on Thursday, he'd gone. Gone? Gone. Yes, gone. All that was left of him was a hole in the ground and an empty box. Really? Good heavens. Eddie's father was giving me the most suspicious look. And then yesterday, next door, went on, something even more extraordinary happened. Thumper was back again, all fluffed up nicely and back in his hutch. Back in his hutch, you say? Fluffed up nicely? How strange. You have to hand it to them. They're good actors. They've kept it up all the way home. What an amazing story. How on earth could it have happened? Quite astonishing. So strange. Till we were safely through the front door, and then, of course, the pair turned on me. Deceitful creature, making us think you killed him. Just pretending all along. I knew that cat could never have done it. The rabbit was even fatter than he is. You'd have thought they all wanted me murdered instead of old Thumper. All except Ellie. She was sweet. Don't you dare pick on Tuffy, she told them. You leave him alone. I bet he didn't even dig poor old Thumper up. I bet it was the vicious, nasty, vicious terrier that did that. All Tufty did was bring Thumper back to us so that we could make sure he was buried again properly. He's a hero, a kind and thoughtful hero. She gave me a big soft squeeze. Isn't that right, Tuffy? I'm saying nothing, am I? I'm just a cat. So I just sat and watched while they unnailed the cat flap. And that's the end of that story. I hope you enjoyed it. So the author was Anne Fine, and it was The Diary of a Killer Cat.